So I bought a $600,000 house about a year ago, and the crazy thing is my mortgage payment every single month is only $1,100 every single month. And the crazy part about it is a lot of people will say, oh, you're lying, Evan, or that's bull crap, there's no way, show me the mortgage statement. I could show you that. And the crazy thing is it's not me going to the bank, it's creative finance and understanding how creative finance actually works. So let me kind of share the story and share how you might be able to get a deal similar to this. So connect with an agent who I had worked with for probably about 6 months. He brought me a deal. He said, hey, I got this seller that's really having a hard time. He's got tax liens, got IRS debt, has the repo man trying to come, take her car every single day, like crazy, crazy stuff. So, I said, hey, I'll meet with the seller, what's owed on the mortgage? And he was like, well, there's no mortgage. Can you do a deal like that? Because him and I had done subject to deals together. And so it was a fair question. I told him, well, I don't get these very often, but sure, yeah. So plan to meet with the seller. So my first thing going in my head is maybe there's a seller finance opportunity here, where the seller can be my bank. The cool thing about seller finance is you can structure really any deal that you want. Because if the seller's the bank and you're the customer, you all get to negotiate it together. So went and met with the seller. Now, here's kind of the thing that I think a lot of people get stuck on. They think that they have to have the perfect script. They have to know the exact words to use to be able to trick the seller into it. And the reality is that's not what happened at all. What you do need with creative finance is the ability to actually build trust, to build real relationships, and just to be honest. Do it ethically, take care of people. So here's what happened. When I met with the seller, she had told me about how she got these cash offers, and the cash offers were sitting at like $300,000. The house fixed up was probably worth around $600. Needed about probably 30 to 40 to get it there. So these $300,000 cash offers, pretty low in my opinion. I would have offered probably a little bit higher than that. And so what I told her, I said, hey, we could do cash, that's fine. But I like the house, it's sitting on 6 acres. It's in a great part of town. And it's pretty rare to find that much land, in this area at this price. And so I told her, I said, hey, I'd be willing to give you a higher price. She was like, well, what do you mean you'd be willing to give me a higher price? I was like, well, let me ask you this. Like, what if I gave you some cash at closing, and then I gave you some in payments over time? She was like, why would we do that? Well, we certainly don't have to do that. I'm just trying to find a way to give you a higher price, which is what you're wanting, right? Because ideally, she said, I really want $450. So I said, well, there's no way I could pay you $450 cash. It's just not going to happen. My best cash offer is probably $375, something like that. And she said, well, okay. Maybe we could do that. And I said, well, let's just sit down at the table and talk about it. Just like two humans, because that's what this is. This isn't a magical pitch. So we sat down and I said, well, how much do you feel like you actually need, at the closing table to be able to, make your move, to be able to pay off your car, to be able to pay off some of this IRS debt? And she said, well, I need at least $30,000. I said, okay, so $30,000. Purchase price of $450. So that leaves us with what, $420,000? She was like, yeah. I said, okay, well, so that leaves us with $420. So, if I paid you monthly, how much do you feel like you would need monthly to, to be able to pay for groceries or pay for specific bills that she had told me she had problems with? We came out to $1,100 a month. So I just told her, I said, hey, if I can pay you 30 grand, I'll pay your agent commission, your closing costs. I'll give you your $450, and I'll pay you $1,100 a month until I pay you off. And she said yes. So what that also means is we got 0% interest. So every single month, this property is paying down $1,100 every single month, and it rents for $2,700 a month. So that's the power of creative finance. I want to just encourage you that if you were told that you need tons of capital or tons of money to get into real estate, you were lied to. If you were told that you need some kind of perfect script or some kind of magical ability to manipulate and persuade, you were lied to. What you need is real human connection, the ability to actually be a trustworthy person and take care of these people, and just ask good questions. Understand what people actually need instead of thinking about what it is that you want, right? That's something I've had to work on, because, I mean, hey, getting a $600,000 house for $375 isn't bad, but the reality is the seller wants more. It's been their property for years. They've owned it for 30 plus years. The last thing I'm gonna do is lowball them and try to offend them with some crazy offer. And 0% interest for 30 years isn't bad. I mean, if you look at what mortgage rates are now, you buy a house for $600K using bank financing, I mean, your mortgage payments are going to be close to $4,000 plus a month. And this is a property that maybe one day I'll move into, or someone in my family will, and it's just nice to be able to keep in house. So if you want to learn more about how to have these conversations, like actually have these conversations, not just be pitched on YouTube or some course, and you want to learn how to do it the right way so that you can build wealth for you and your family without having to have $1 million liquid in the bank, I have a free community that I run, school. It's just to give back, and at least for now, until I can figure out really how I want to move this thing forward, because I want to build community with people that want to do ethical, creative deals. And it's changed my life. It's helped me build wealth faster than I ever thought was possible. And I know it's possible for you too. So if you have questions, go ahead and comment. If you found this video helpful at all, please like and subscribe. And if anything, I'd love to see you in the community. We have weekly calls on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. where we talk about real deals. We talk about how to raise money. We talk about how to actually have these conversations word by word. And I'd love to help along in your real estate journey. So hope you have a wonderful day. Be blessed.